In the process of building this and moving on to the next step, which would be making the drawer supports, I discovered a mistake that I had built into the whole design since the very beginning when I modeled in SketchUp. Which is, I made this back rail here 5 inches. And I did that because this to here is 5 inches. However, I needed a 1/6 inch to go down to allow for the drawer supports and runners and all that stuff to fit. And of course, the back rail on the top is only 5 inches. Well, it's a little bit more. So I had to actually glue back on a 1-inch strip here, which I did the best I could to find something that looked similar, but it's very clearly not the original. Which in the end is whatever, it's fine, but it's annoying. I'm going to modify my SketchUp design for it just to make sure that, I don't know, it's not built in anymore. But yeah, this is a slight fix I had along the way. Not even really a setback, just a fix I had to do. This is pretty quick. It took about 20 minutes to get to this point, just cleaning up the one edge on this. So there we go. All right, so I had another mistake. These mortises and the two up here, I put them flush. The pieces are flush and they're supposed to be back. That's annoying, but hey, I can fix it. I'm just gonna have to patch these, put something in there to fill it, and just cut the mortises behind them a little bit here. Basically, I'm pushing them back, and then I'm going to fill these in. So I'm going to try my best to preserve this piece here. So maybe I'll use a coping saw piece or something. I don't know. Or I'll try and just bust it out, and then maybe I'll use that to cover up. And since it's right from near it, this piece right here, it might make a more seamless patch. But yeah, I'm kind of annoyed about that. But we'll see what happens. I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, so what I'm going to do to make sure I got my gauge set to the right distance is I'm going to set it to 1/4 inch. I'm going to mark just over here in the waist, which will be covered up. And then I'll set the front on, I'll set the what needs to be on that 1/4 inch, which is the front of the actual piece, on the line. And then what I'll do is I'll come over here and push my gauge up against the piece to the tenon. Yeah, that looks about right. So I'm making sure, so I've set my piece on the tenon, on the 1/4 inch back, and I brought my gauge to the tenon. You know, I'm a little heavy, so I'm gonna okay, so now I'm going to remark. And actually, if we're lucky, yeah, it probably won't show. All right, so I've got an old coping saw blade here that snapped on me, and I'm gonna put it on a pull saw position. So I've got the teeth facing up, and I'm gonna see if I can saw away some of the sides of this waist, so then I can just chisel it out, and we'll see how long it takes and if it's worth it. But I'm gonna. It's going slowly but surely. I think I've got it pretty close. All right, now I've got it. I've got the sides chiseled away, or I've got the sides sawn away here.
we're gonna see what actually happens with this piece. So I'm gonna put the chisel right on the knife line. And here's hoping. Wow, that might have done it. It was pretty close. Most of it came away with the first blow. The reason why I'm excited about this is because maybe I'll just be able to pass this to the front. Maybe not. But wow, look at that. Yeah, that might have just worked. Oh! All right, so if I put this to the back, how far, what kind of gap do we have? There, that's the gap I'm looking for. Can you see that? That's better. All right, so this is a 1/4 inch gauge. Not quite there yet. We might have an 1/8 of an inch at this point, but yeah, great.
I've actually worked quite a bit ahead on this project at the time of showing this video. I've got the whole case glued up, and this is actually what it looks like glued up. There's a little bit of glue that I have to scrape away, but right there, the dark patch is the fill that I had on this one where it actually showed. And from a distance, it doesn't show at all. And as you can see here, just even about a foot away, it's really not even noticeable at all. So here it is up close as anybody will ever get. You can see the slightest hint of a shadow on the left there, right there. So that's not bad. I'm really happy with that fix. On the other side, it's actually much, much better even. The grain here I need to go back and touch up. But same thing, I got a little bit of glue that I got to clean up and things like that. And just since I've been working on it, the finish has been affected. But still, you just cannot even see the patch because it's 99.9% covered up. There's a light spot right there that you can see underneath where the piece meets the rail here. And it's just on the far left where I think that's the slightest hint of it. Overall, I'm really, really satisfied with that. I'm gonna keep you in suspense. I'm not gonna show you any more of the sideboard with the finish on it. The back is obviously functioning. It's holding up really well. I've got all the pieces fit to it quite nicely, and from the inside, you don't even notice. It's fine. From the back, it's really obvious. But I mean, I'm really satisfied with how those fixes came out. It was really frustrating at the time, but I think that I handled them with a good level head and I figured out a solution. The sawing technique seemed really great at first and it just did not work out. So again, so really what I ended up doing is I just cut away some scraps from other pieces using just some chunks, filled it in until I got a really nice fit, exactly the setback that I wanted from the front rail, and just glued it in. And then finally what I did is I just put a thin piece of veneer on top of it and planed it away, and that's how I got on the one piece that actually shows, that's how I got it to look so nice. The grain is kind of in the same direction, and that's what I was really worried about. Did it have the same color and did it have the same grain direction? So that's really all you can hope for. Hope that your mistakes aren't so devastating. And for me, in this case, I did have one that's on a really, really visible surface, which is the front rail there, the front bottom rail. The back didn't make a difference at all. It was just a poorly thought out design, and I fixed it. So I'm happy with that. There's really nothing else to say about it except the fact that I'm happy with how I solved them. And you know, for me, that's what a lot of the fun is figuring stuff out as I go. It's giving myself a different type of challenge than I normally have on the day-to-day basis. It's a creative challenge. And while I don't like the thought of my hard work and my hours and my money being, and quite frankly, really beautiful wood being wasted like that, the fact that I was able to salvage it and do so discreetly is just immensely satisfying. So seeing the piece come together is satisfying, but also knowing the work I did to make sure it got to that point is also very satisfying.
I hope it's been fun. I hope it's been useful, and maybe it'll give you some ideas. And I hope it's given you the courage to try stuff that even if you mess up, you can go, a lot of times you can go back and fix it. So anyways, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you around for the next one.